All right, guys. So I just want to take this one will be a lot shorter than the one with the word problem assignment. I just want to get you started on the Newsella article. If you happen to already do the quiz, because I think I saw that 4 of you have at least done the quiz and some of you have done more. And after watching this, if you want to kind of refigure the answers to your questions and send them to me in a message, you can do that, and I'll update your grade in Canvas for this actual assignment. Okay. Now, this article I thought was kind of timely for you guys. I don't think I would have had seniors read it because it might be a little bit of a sensitive subject, but I thought it was good for you guys to actually read about this and think about this, about how you would feel if you were currently in the same shoes as this year's seniors. Because I know that I've had, here or there, I would have a student say, do I actually have to go to graduation? Do I have to do this? I think sometimes it gets taken for granted. You just assume that it's something that's going to happen. And then, sometimes it gets taken away and it's not a choice. Everyone's getting creative and finding ways to still try to make it special. But I wanted you to kind of think about it and just kind of see where your thoughts are with it. Okay, so first, the quiz. I'm going to go over the first question with you, and again, kind of help you figure out what the answer is. And I want to show you how I think these through, what my thought process is for solving these types of problems or questions. Not solving, we're not doing math. For answering these types of questions. So the first question for our quiz is read the following paragraph from the introduction, paragraphs 1 through 4. So it says, there are about 3.7 million high school seniors across the country. School's been pulled out from under all of them. Grades and final projects float in limbo. Close friendships have been socially distanced. Prom dresses hang in closets, maybe never to be worn. Senior trips have been canceled. At many schools, the important graduation ceremony may not happen. So then the question says, which of the following is an accurate explanation of what this paragraph means? So the first thing I do on multiple choice questions for reading assignments like this is I read all 4 answer choices. I don't click on the first one that sounds good to me. I read all 4 first, okay? So A says students should avoid buying clothes for the prom or graduation too early in their senior year. Okay. B, students who fail to complete their final projects will have to repeat their senior year. C, many of the events that make senior year unique and meaningful are unlikely to happen. D, many seniors across the country will still get to attend their graduations and proms. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the paragraph over here. We're looking at this one right here. So it says school's been pulled out from under them. Grades and final projects float in limbo. So it does mention grades and final projects. However, if you look at answer choice B, it says students who fail to complete their final projects will have to repeat their senior year. This says nothing about this. This just says that it's kind of in limbo. It says nothing about them having to repeat their senior year. So I know B is not correct. Okay. Close friendships have been socially distanced. Prom dresses hang in closets, maybe never to be worn. So again, if we go up to answer choice A, it says students should avoid buying clothes for the prom or graduation too early in their senior year. Again, I don't think that that's what this is saying. It says that prom dresses are in closets, maybe never to be worn. So they're not saying that they won't be worn. It's just up in the air right now. So I don't think it's A. They're not telling you don't go buy prom dresses and graduation gowns. Let's see. So that leaves us with what? C and D. So C says many of the events that make senior year unique and meaningful are unlikely to happen. That one sounds kind of promising because it talks about how prom may not happen, senior trips are canceled, graduation ceremonies may not happen. That's exactly what C is referring to. Those are all unique things to your senior year aside from prom because you have junior prom. But those are all things that may not happen. So C is looking very promising, but let's double check D. many seniors across the country will still get to attend their graduations and proms. So again, that is not what this is saying. They're saying at best, it's all still up in the air. So this one, we would click on C for this one. That's what I would choose. I can't choose it because I'm not actually taking the quiz. But that one's C. And that's kind of what you want to do, especially when you have multiple choice. You want to go in and kind of eliminate the ones that you know are wrong for sure. And then just kind of take your time thinking it through. Think, is something in the text actually saying this? Is it hinting at it? Or is that not even being discussed? And that should kind of help you with it. Okay, so that is the quiz part. Again, I'm not going to do any of the power words simply because you guys generally do very well on those. But I do want to look at the writing prompt, and I actually changed the writing prompt. The one that they had was very general, and I think we might get a little bit better response with this one. So, writing prompt, how do you think you would feel if this were your senior year and your year has ended the way that this one has? I know it's still not done, but you kind of get a glimpse of what's happening the more you read the news and pay attention to what's being said. Would you be upset if you did not get to have a graduation? Has this experience changed the way you think or feel about school? Okay, so when you are writing, so the first part of the question is, how do you think you would feel if this were your senior year and your year ended this way? So I would start by rephrasing the prompt a little bit, especially if you have a hard time getting started. If you don't, then you don't have to rephrase the prompt. But so I could say, if my senior year ended the same way that this year's seniors did, I would be sad and disappointed. I would not get to experience what some I'm trying to think of a specific word and can't think of it right now. But some consider once in a lifetime events that are exclusive to seniors in high school or college. Okay, and the reason I even put that sentence in there is because there's a quote in the passage that you're going to read where there's a high school senior that said, not every one of us is planning on going to college, and I know that that's true for you guys too. Some people may not have graduation this year, but they're going to go to college, and when they graduate from college, they'll get to experience graduation that way. But for those of you, hi buddy, my 1-year-old just barged into the room, and I'm sure he's going to make his presence known here. You want to come say hi?
Yeah.
You want to say hi? You say hi? Say hi. You see yourself right there?
Hi.
Okay. So for some people it is a once in a lifetime experience, where others it may not be. So it may impact you a little bit differently, depending on what your future plans are. Okay. So I rephrase the first question, but then you could do the same thing with the questions that came after that. So you could, the second part says, would you be upset if you did not get to have a graduation? So, I could elaborate on that a little bit. I'll get you a snack in a second. I could elaborate that on that a little bit more. I could say, while I would get to experience graduation 4 years later from college, I would be disappointed to not experience graduation with all of my high school friends. Okay. And then finally, has this experience changed the way you think or feel about school? I've already gotten some responses from some of you, and some of you mentioned, how you kind of take things for granted when you're in the building, and now that you're not in the building and those things aren't there, to help you or be available to you, it kind of makes a difference. So just give me your opinions and your thoughts there. There's no right or wrong answer for any of these. I just kind of want to see what you guys are thinking and where you're at with all of that. This video ended up being longer than the math one that I posted, and I did not intend on that. I'm going to blame it on Evan for barging in, even though that's not his fault. Again, if you have questions, let me know. And as I mentioned, if you've already taken the quiz and didn't like the score that you got, now that you've seen me go through one of the questions and kind of the thought process for that, please feel free to rework each of them, figure out what the correct answer is for all 4 questions and just message them to me, and I'll change your grade in Canvas. Okay. As always, please take care. Please reach out if you need me. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.